Well, I've come to pick up on a story that I was chatting about here with Tony back in September with your wife, Anne. Yeah. It was a very, very moving interview about Anne's condition with liver problems and the transplant. Obviously, sad to say that she's not here today, but we are looking back on things because from what you yourselves have done to publicise liver transplants and the appeal for funds to help, you've had an amazing response, and I know that's why you wanted to do this interview today, Tony.
That's correct, yes. We just want to let people know where we've got to regarding the ball that was organised in November, just before Anne died. And we thought we were going to have to cancel the ball at one stage because she was ill at the time, but she emphasised that the ball had to go ahead. She emphasised the ball had to go ahead. We didn't want to cancel the ball.
Well, the little I knew about it, that was her, wasn't it? Your mum?
It was, yeah.
She's determined.
She was the architect behind the ball, to be fair. She lay in her bed and she designed everything, and we were just the workmen that put it together, to be fair. And she insisted that it was to go ahead and that Dad and the rest of us were to be there.
Can we just have a little bit about the story, because obviously not everyone would be up to date with it. Anne was suffering from problems with the liver, yes. and she had this chance to extend her life a bit.
That's correct. She had an autoimmune disease for 22 years, and of course it come to a head in September 13 when she was told she needed to be on the transplant list. We never ever thought it would come to fruition. She finished up going to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, the liver transplant unit, on the 30th of December 2013, where they started to do the workup, which was really, really hard on her. The first time the workup was done to transplant, they turned her down for transplant. They said she wasn't fit enough, she wouldn't go through surgery. 2 weeks later, we pushed it with them that without it she wouldn't be here. 2 weeks later, they reassessed her again. They gave us an extra 2 weeks. She got through the assessment, and even getting through the assessment, we didn't think that she would ever get the transplant because organs are that scarce. She was discharged from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham on the 8th of March after being there 10, 11 weeks. She was transferred back to Noble's Hospital, where she stayed for 4 weeks, and on the 5th of April at 4:30 on a Saturday morning, we got a telephone call to say that there was an organ available for her. We were flown back to the Queen Elizabeth that Saturday morning with a lot of hiccups in the road where planes couldn't take off because of fog.
Oh yes, I remember now. It's just amazing how just to get there was a journey itself.
It was a journey itself to get there, and we thought we were going to run out of time because there was only a 6-hour window. And what we didn't know at the time was that the organ hadn't arrived in the hospital. So we eventually got to Queen Elizabeth at 11:45 on the 5th of April, and Anne went to surgery at 7 o'clock that evening. The organ arrived in the hospital at 5:15, and she went to transplant at 7 o'clock. She came through transplant. The operation went really, really well, and we all started to look forward to it. After that, she had a couple of hiccups because of her autoimmune system was still heavily suppressed. She took what they call a CMV virus in August. The CMV virus in August she took to yourself or myself or to Andrea would be just like a sniffle, but to somebody like Anne
with no immune system,
it just hit her hard and fast.
So actually, I mean, she got through the transplant. It wasn't that
no, the transplant went really, really well. It was just complications set in because they always told us because she was so ill before transplant. The sicker she was, the longer it would take for the recovery, because she was really down in the gutter. And this is what was happening. She was trying to build her strength, and then there was other things set in, just, you know.
I know she was very worried when she did the interview with us. You set the thing up, didn't you? And we were not even sure she was going to go through with it.
I did.
But got an amazing response from our viewers. I mean, it went to the most popular list straight away. And did she feel that she'd done the right thing by doing the interview?
Absolutely. I mean, she'd been terrified, and I wasn't very popular at all. But she was so happy with the results of the interview, and consequently the following that we had. Her story really struck a chord with so many people, and we had an abundance of support for which we will be eternally grateful, because what we have now to give back will be her legacy forever.
And it's all about promoting this event at the Empress Hotel. You're hoping to raise a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You've got to check that. Well, how much do you think you're going to raise?
We were targeting £10,000.
Okay, get the check up. Let's have a look.
This is where
put it to the camera here. Can you see that? Oops, it's that way there. That's £25,000. That's an amazing amount. And that's going to go back into what?
That's going to go into the Queen Elizabeth Hospital liver transplant unit. Mr. Pereira, the surgeon that did on surgery, he had told us that they were trying to purchase a machine. It's like a dialysis machine to help other liver transplant patients and to help people waiting in surgery to try to prolong their lives. This machine was going to cost in the region of £100,000. And we thought we need to do something. It's a two-way street. We'd have to put something back to what we got out. Even though Anne's finish wasn't the way we wanted, and she was determined that we carried on, even in the adversity of what she was going through.
And if just one person out there who's watching this is touched by it or is going through the same thing,
correct,
what would you say?
Just have faith. Have faith in the people in Birmingham or in King's College in London or whatever unit they're attending. These people are top notch. They're really good at what they do, and if they can do it and they've got the machines and the organs to do it, they'll carry them through.
I think the other thing would be to take inspiration from Mum's story, because although the end, it wasn't a success for Mum. It wasn't her liver that caused the end of her life. So actually her liver was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, and she was living and looking forward to a long and fruitful life, and she just had other issues stacked against her that meant. And
on the reverse side, there's people who haven't thought about donating, in their wills. Again, that's quite important, isn't it?
It's very important. It's the shortage of organs. People doesn't realise how big a shortage there is in organs. And the other thing that people didn't realise, and we didn't realise it ourselves, till we get into this scenario, just how many people are waiting transplants. And a lot of people run out of road because the transplant doesn't come along for them, unfortunately. And people are dying every day of the week, and they're taking good organs with them, which these people could avail of probably. And it's just unfortunate that this is happening. The machine that the Queen Elizabeth, Mr. Pereira, the surgeon that did Anne's operation, that he wants to purchase, it's going to help an awful lot of people. And this machine will be able to travel the length and breadth of the UK, Ireland, and even into Europe. The machine can travel with them, and it can help people while they're waiting to get back to the Queen Elizabeth or wherever they're going to be transferred.
So Anne's legacy lives on.
It does. They actually said they're going to call the machine the Fox machine, and it will travel and it will carry her name. So
it's Dr. Holt, the consultant that actually was looking after on the work up the transplant. Dr. Holt said it's Anne's legacy to Birmingham. They couldn't believe what she'd done, and especially what she was going through and what the rest of the family was going through.
I think the other thing to bear in mind is that this machine isn't just going to help people further afield from the Isle of Man, that there are other people in the Isle of Man, locals, who could be the beneficiaries of this donation. And so it's important for us to make sure that other people understand that we aren't taking local funds and taking it from the local people. This will as much benefit the local people of the Isle of Man as it will other people farther afield.
Yeah, we didn't realise just how many people on the Isle of Man is actually waiting on liver transplants. We couldn't believe it, when we were told that there was a significant amount of people on the island waiting on liver transplants, and hopefully this machine will help them. It's in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital at the minute, on demonstration. And the day after Anne died, the surgeon that carried out Anne's surgery, Mr. Pereira, he used it for the first time. And this operation was a success.
So we're really saving lives.
Correct.
It is, yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to carry on and put more funds in to the liver transplant unit. We'll keep in Anne's memory.
There's a couple of other things, if I could just add. As far as donating organs goes, please go on the website and look to sign up for organ donation, and tell your family what it is you want to happen to your body after you have passed. And it doesn't mean if you sign up that something bad's going to happen to you. It's just an authorization that somebody else can use your organs to someone else's benefit. And the other thing is, locally, if you have indicated on your driving licence that is something that you'd like to do, it doesn't automatically put your name on the register, so you need to go and do that in addition.
Right.
But just make sure you've shared your wishes with those who care about you.
And before we finish, I know you've got a few thanks as well.
Yeah, I would like to thank the people of the Isle of Man that supported our cause, and the people of Ireland. And without them, we couldn't have got the £25,000. Without the support, we put the leg work into it and the spade work into it, but without their money, we couldn't have done it.